Welcome, Branford. I'm Tracy Everson. Today, Branford Voices is focusing on hunger in our town. Did you know that about 35% of the students in our public schools qualify for free and reduced lunch programs? Thankfully, we have more than a few really terrific organizations in our town that are helping our children, our families, and our neighbors in need. Just so you're aware, we are taping this podcast a week before Thanksgiving 2025. We are following a government shutdown that including the withholding of federal food benefits for 360,000 Connecticut families. The state did step in to bridge the gap and is ready to do so again if need be. We'll be welcoming the leaders of two of these organizations with us today. Is Judy Bishop, who's the executive director of the Community Dining Room, and Christine Klarman is with Feed Branford Kids. So welcome to you both.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you very much for having us, Tracy.
Absolutely. We need to highlight what's happening in our town. Who should we start with? Maybe with Christine, because I did highlight the students. And part of what Feed Branford Kids does is fill in those gaps on weekends, right?
Yes, exactly.
For the students. So talk to us about that.
Well, it started, the program started about 13 years ago. One of the women who founded it, Joanne Pantani, was on a mission trip with the Congregational Church, and there was a backpack program in the school that they were working with down, I think it was in Louisiana, and wanted to start the same type of program up here. So for Christmas that year, her kids gave her a lunchbox filled with cash so she could start her project here. And she just got a lot of her friends in to help her, and that's how it came. We used to run through the food pantry, and then about 5 years ago, we spun off into our own 501c3 charity. So we have a group of packers come in during the week and pack a number of bags, and then we have someone who delivers to all the schools in town on Wednesday, and the kids get the food to take home on Friday. And then we also have started opening up our warehouse on Thursday evenings. We started back during the pandemic in 2020 to help bridge the gap then that people were having, and it's just stayed open on Thursday nights. Some families find it easier to come out there. If they have real little kids, they have trouble carrying the bags home because they're heavy.
Right.
So we have a core group, and then a lot of new people who tell their friends about it, who can use it, and so they come from all areas of town to pick up on Thursday nights.
Right. So that's every Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m.
Correct.
Oh, gosh. Sorry about that. I thought I put it on airplane mode, and sometimes it just happens, doesn't it?
It does.
Feed Branford Kids. And what Christine's talking about right here, this is what they do. We'll be providing also some information. I now have a Branford Voices Facebook page, so I'm going to put all of this information up for people to have that as well. But talk to us, if you would, about how have you seen the need grow? Has it grown?
Oh, it's grown tremendously in the past couple of years, and particularly this past year. The need has gotten bigger and bigger. A lot of people are facing a lot of issues with challenges with paying rent, and they've got kids, so if the rent goes up, they need the extra help. So I've seen people who I haven't seen in a long time at the warehouse have come back now because of situations like that, or they just the need is just there, and people get sick, or they have kids who get really sick, and people fall out of work. And I know one family that we have coming in was renting, and then the person was selling the house, and it sold faster, so they had to get out with their 3 kids. So they're living at one of the motels in town with the kids, and so they've been coming in trying to reestablish what they can do and where they can rent. So the need is great, and we don't know. We're an anonymous program, so we don't know the kids we're giving to at school. And I've gotten to know some of the families coming in on Thursday nights because I'm there 2 out of the 4 Thursdays of the month. So I know some of the background with some of the families, but not all of them. If they need the food, we just give it to them. We don't ask a lot of questions because, our food is all shelf stable, prepackaged foods, although we've started giving out fresh produce on Thursday nights with families who come in then and other things such as that. But so it's, food that simple foods kids can prepare for themselves should they come from a single parent family and the parents are working on the weekends. And it's just basically bridging the gap from Friday to Monday for the kids at school where, they can get the reduced lunch programs and stuff at school.
Right.
So this
Yes.
just helps that.
Yeah.
But the count has just gone astronomically high.
Right.
So, and
And-
unfortunately, it probably is going to just continue that way.
Yeah. Well, it's the economy too, right?
Yes,
I
that's
mean,
a
the
lot
rents.
of it too. Yep.
The rents in Branford are becoming unattainable, I think, for a lot of families who
Yep.
are here,
It's true.
and the cost of living.
Yes.
So it's wonderful that
I think
you
it's
are-
so great too that Feed Branford Kids is able to reach that ALICE population. Branford holds about 33% of the ALICE population, asset limited, income constrained, but employed.
Yes, thank
And
you.
it is-
I know you deal with a lot of
Yeah,
acronyms.
a lot
in
of
your
acronyms.
business,
We'll make
Judy,
sure,
but
we
yes.
let everybody know what that is.
Right.
But I think that's wonderful to be available to those families in need. And as Christine was saying, when they're having to decide whether to pay rent or put groceries on the table, there's still working families out there trying to make ends meet, and that's a great program to help them.
Right. Yes. So what the community dining room does,
All the things.
oh my gosh, so many different programs and facets to what the community dining room, which I learned today that your family
Yep.
helped to found.
Yes.
So still connections there, but
I'm going to let Christine tell a little bit of the history.
Oh.
So she can kick it
Yeah.
off to give a little bit of the history before we dive into all the programs and
Yeah.
services that we have going on.
Yeah. So it was established in 1985 with the pastor from the Baptist Church, Liz Emery, and my mother from St. Mary's Church, and then all the other churches were also working on the project. They got it started in the basement of the Baptist Church, which is why it was called the soup cellar, because we were in the cellar of the base of the Baptist Church. And for years, you'll like this, Judy, they just relied on food from restaurants coming in, and they didn't have, all they could do was heat food. They had no ovens. They had no food. The kitchen was about the size of this room that we're in now.
wow. Yeah.
And
Leaps and bounds.
Exactly. The first day they opened in 1985, there was one client who came in, and then it's gradually got more established and more people knew about it, and they started coming in. But for the longest time, they were only open one day a week, and then through the years it got bigger. And after a couple of years, they started on Saturdays, but not on Sundays. And then it's by the year 2000 outgrew the space that they were in and moved over to what was used to be Harrison Avenue School, is now the Volunteer Service Center. So they started there in 2000, and we know they're busting at the seams.
Busting
there
at the
because
seams.
Now
Yes.
the program has just blossomed completely and has gone in many different directions. So I'll give it
Right.
back to Judy now.
Yes, yeah. So what the community dining room does is every day, 12 to 1, you can go to the community dining room,
Yes.
30 Harrison Avenue,
Yes.
and you can get a hot meal.
A hot meal, no questions asked. You don't need to give us your name, no information needed. All of our programs have zero cost, and all are welcome to come in. That's just one of the many programs, but you can
Yes.
be guaranteed that no matter what, you can find us from 12 to noon for that hot meal every single day, 7 days a week.
And how have you seen a greater need
Oh,
in the
sure.
last few weeks?
Sure. So
what
we
are
were
you
talking
facing?
about COVID numbers to now, and COVID brought us up to the 50,000 served, in that year's time, and now we seemingly are staying steady in that. So from 2,500 different unique individuals, now we're serving from East Haven to Old Saybrook, primarily seeing individuals come from East Haven, Branford, North Branford, and Guilford. We're seeing 3,500 different unique individuals now, and we'll be earmarked at
Wow.
over 60,000 meals by the end of this year. So far, since just the SNAP conundrum, we started to see a 25% increase in demand for need straight across in all programs, and a 50% increase in our mobile food pantry as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Pivot.
tremendous.
Pivot. Right, Christine?
That's it.
Pivot.
That's it. Pivot.
Pivot.
Pivot as you need to.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean,
You got to just always be ready.
That's
Yes.
it. That's it. No program will ever close. Not on our watch anyway,
No.
right? No program will ever
Not at all.
close. We will
Right.
we will consistently pivot and get creative. And we live in such a wonderful giving community in Branford.
do.
Yes,
The
Yes.
volunteers are amazing. The support for, neighbors in need is amazing. That is a blessing to keep programs like ours standing.
It sure is. It sure is. You get the financial support, and then you also, like you said, the volunteer support
Yep.
and people donating food support. So
Right.
you need all of it to keep
All a
everybody
cog in a
going.
wheel to all make it keep working.
Exactly.
And we are so fortunate and blessed to be able to be in a community that is so giving.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are.
So one of the things that we have coming up here, of course, is one of our favorites here in Branford, the annual tree lighting and parade on Saturday, November 29th. I'll hold this up. And this is to help benefit Feed Branford Kids. So how can people, what would you like them to, are they bringing something to the tree lighting?
Yes.
What do you need them to keep in mind?
We have some girls from the high school dance team who will be pushing shopping carts through the parade, and people coming to the parade can just bring any sort of non-perishable food item, shelf stable, and they will collect it, and then the recreation department will box it up and take it back to the recreation department, and I'll pick it up Monday and bring it to our warehouse.
Oh, gosh.
That's
okay.
great.
That's a lot.
Fill those
Yeah.
fill those
Fill
carriages.
those carriages, exactly.
Fill those carriages.
Yes, we've been fortunate in the past couple of months. We've had some food drives of our own, and some people have done them for us, and we've benefited greatly because in years past, around the holiday time, we would get gift cards to Stop and Shop or Big Y that we would buy and give to the families. But we said, you're giving them like a $25 gift card. What are you shopping for?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
You
Right.
don't get much.
Right.
So we just decided, let's have a food drive, and we can give out, more family-sized products. Families can come get their bags for their kids, and if they need
Right.
anything extra, get it. And that's been a huge help to the families coming in.
That's great.
Because it's just one stop for them to get it all in one night, and
Yep.
and
Right.
it's worked out. So yeah, it's
Like the individually wrapped snacks. I recently made a donation myself
Yep.
to the food pantry here in town,
Yep.
which a lot of people are doing. And it was like the Belvita breakfast,
yep.
and it's individual. It was a whole box, but it's individually wrapped,
Exactly.
which would be probably ideal. So another favorite here in Branford, one of mine, of course, because I live in the Branford Point neighborhood, is the Harbor Lights. Another one's coming up. And this year it's a little different, Judy, in how the luminaries are being distributed. Talk
Yes.
about that, if you would.
So Rob Covey has put on this wonderful event, and the community dining room being the recipient of the funds raised. So usually Rob would set up his tents, and you'd see him down there on the
Right.
weekends in the cold and the rain, whenever it was. Rob was out there dedicated selling those luminaries. Well, we wanted to take a little bit of that and be able to make that a little bit easier for Rob. So we're now having the luminaries for sale at CDR. You can come on the weekends on Saturday and Sunday. We kicked that off last weekend from 9 to noon. They'll be packed and ready for purchase. And if you're unable to come on that time, you can contact and call the office at any time and just come by and pick them up during the week as well. So they'll be for sale at CDR right up until the date of the event.
Right.
And I can't really totally announce it yet, Tracy, but there is going to be something different coming this year, too. There may be a central meeting location where we'll be kicking off some really fun events in conjunction with Harbor Lights as we light up the town.
Oh, great.
More things to come.
More things to
You'll have
come.
to check out the website for that. More to come.
Judy is like the busiest
secret.
person in Branford. I tell you, it's amazing. And something else that CDR is doing, out of tragedy comes something good, unfortunately, but it's Anthony's Angel Tree. And you said this has been tremendously welcomed by our town.
Yes, well received. And we're so fortunate to have the Esposito family trust in us to be able to do this in Anthony's memory. He was a participant of our summer meal programs. You could find Anthony out in the green smiling and searching for Pokemon. or hoarding the pencils at the table. And,
Yeah.
he was just a loving child and deeply missed by this community. And in conversations with the family and trying to keep his memory, his mother would like his name to continue to be spoken in the community and to be
Right.
remembered for all that love he had to give. So, what a better time than during the holiday season? We have a tree in his name. We have I think we're well over 70 tags now pulled. And we have well over 100 tags on the tree. And for our holiday programs, we give out over 200 toys to children in need. So people can stop down, they can pull a tag. If they can't pull a tag, they can call the office and we can assign them a tag over the phone. And we're just asking for toys to be turned in by December 12th. People have gotten super creative in hosting toy drives in conjunction. You'll see them all over town, fire department, town hall, a lot of just small ones amongst the community, even just neighborhoods are doing them amongst themselves. And they'll all be in honor of Anthony for Anthony's Angel Tree.
Right. That's fabulous. Christine, does the Feed Branford Kids do something similar? Are there drives that some people do at churches or in schools or with community groups?
Some have. They're on a small scale
Right.
for what we need. If we just people on our board, because we have a very small group of people who run this. There's only 9 of us.
Right.
And then we have our, as they like to call themselves, the sexy senior packers who pack the foods.
Okay.
And some of them are from the original crew of packers, and so they're well into their mid-80s doing
Oh,
this.
my goodness.
And from what I was told by the woman who runs that part of it, they get into the big boxes where they're putting all the cardboard and jump up and down with their canes. Doing
it done.
Just them down. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
just
get it
as long
done.
as you don't fall out, we're good.
Right.
So we have had some, years past, we've had the boys hockey team at the high school have done some drives for us, and the dance team has done a few things for us. So, a lot of it, and Judy will agree with this, is getting the awareness out there of what the needs are.
Truth.
Because so many people don't think there's a hunger problem in this town.
There is.
And they're shocked when you tell them, like, the percentages.
Yes.
And they're like, really? In
Yes.
Branford? Yes. It's everywhere. It's in every community.
There
I was
is.
reading an article earlier this summer about the food pantries and things in Westport.
Yeah. Yeah.
Down there. That
Yeah.
and it's an eye-opening experience for people.
It is.
Yes.
And I think one of the best things about all of the food entities in town, and the food pantry isn't with us today, but you'll learn about them in the future and all the wonderful things they do as well. I think the best thing is that we all recognize different programs. So we're
Yes.
able to meet those needs straight across the board, and we're conscious of not duplicating ourselves amongst each other. We try to collaborate as often as we can, share when necessary. So I think there's different drives and different programs during the holiday seasons that cater to different things, and some things in a traditional sense. The community dining room has always had, new coats and an adopt-a-family program. So, and then, new this year for Anthony's Angel Tree, but we try not to duplicate ourselves in
Right.
service. So we're really cautious of that because it can get super confusing for
Right.
individuals when
Who's
you're
doing
looking for
what?
the resources.
Oh, wait, I gave to
Well,
this
that's
organization.
exactly right.
And
Right.
what do you mean that's not helping this other, it's
Right.
you're all separate.
Right. That's the
Same
thing.
mission.
Same mission,
All
but separate
hitting
in that.
different points of it.
Yep.
But so many people think that it's all one.
Right.
Like they give to one,
Right.
they think they're giving to all of it, and then
Right.
you say,
Right.
no, it's
and
not.
they're all needed, but we
Yes.
all are there for those resources for those individuals in different ways. So with the snack and the backpack programs for the children is their primary focus, the food pantry with the non-perishables so people can have that in their homes, and we are with our meals within making sure, and we have homebound delivery. So there's all these little separate niches in the different organizations. So our funds and our drives, all of those programs, we try to just not duplicate, but make
Exactly.
sure that we're creatively meeting the needs straight across the board.
And
Right.
just letting the different people who come to us know about the other groups.
Exactly.
If you need something else, you can go here or here.
Right.
And just all the other social services available in town.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. Hence our more than just a meal tag over at the community dining room. Referrals are really important to us in connecting our individuals. It's always more than just food insecurity. That's what
Right.
brings us
Yes.
that brings them to us. But we
Right.
want to make sure that we're able to give them all of those other resources as well. Our collaborative partners, social services agencies, whatever it is that they may need, we want to make sure that we can give them those referrals.
Yes. Yeah, which is great. Yeah, we don't want people falling through the cracks. That's
No.
never a
No.
good thing.
No,
No, we don't.
And we don't want people hungry.
No, not at all.
no, it shouldn't exist.
No, it should not at all. It should not at
Yeah.
all. And as we all know, everything always works better when you work together.
Yes.
as opposed to
Absolutely.
separately.
Yes.
Yep. So, Judy, this is one of my favorites.
That's a
The
favorite.
Pie Wars.
It's
The
coming.
fire departments, Branford versus East Haven.
Branford is in the lead.
Oh, yeah.
They are currently in the lead so far.
Okay.
East Haven's catching up. So Pie Wars began in conjunction with Giving Tuesday. That is a global, similar to the Great Give, a global giving. And so with Pie Wars, it was invented actually by a high school student during doing an internship with us one summer, and they did it as Penny Wars. And so they did it amongst their classes, and one of the principals took a pie. for a fundraiser, and we loved it so much, and it had such great community spirit. So we continued that. Last year we had our recreation directors locally on the shoreline had a competition amongst themselves, and this year the fire department jumped on board with us to get involved, bring some awareness on their end, and be great community partners. So yep, Branford's in the lead, and on December 2nd we will be on the Branford Green, and we'll see. A fire chief is going to get pied. We're going to see who it's going to be.
Oh, interesting.
More to come. So the
And
flyers.
how is that determined? Who gets pie? Oh, you have to
raise
the money.
funds. So when you go to the website and you click on that little orange heart and you donate, you'll be able to select whether or not it's going to East Haven or Branford Fire Department for that particular fundraiser. And you can come join us on the green at Pie Time. 3:14 at Pie Time.
That's right.
At Pie Time.
All right.
Yep.
I was like, 3:14.
That's
See,
pie-
I didn't even make that connection.
Pie Time. Yep.
Yes,
and
Pie
so
Time.
and we'll see what happens. We'll see where it's going to go. And
Oh.
all of the proceeds again go to all of our nutritional programs. So it's great support. So we're very thankful that they have some fun with us.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I mean, and then you've got also,
Oh, we're going to jingle and mingle.
And mingle.
Are you going to come
Food
jingle
drive
and mingle? You should come jingle
at
and
the
mingle.
O and E Go.
Yeah,
This is new to me.
brand new. So, the O, which everybody loves and knows in town, and the owners of the O, they are wonderful, the Bloomquists, and they said, we are not going to sit at our Thanksgiving table this year and not do something for the community when we see all that is going on in today's world. So we want to do something. What can we do? And can we do it fast? So we came to the table and, we brainstormed and we came up with a jingle and mingle. So we're going to stuff the O. Admission price is a bag of food. And that's going to help stock the shelves for the winter and hopefully into the early spring. We need to keep those shelves stocked. So we're hoping that people are going to come out. They're calling it the last call before the snowfall. And
That's
they're going to
perfect.
we're going to have
if
a
we
Santa.
have ever snow again,
Yeah,
right?
We're gonna have a Santa and we're gonna have some music and it's gonna be the last event of the season over at the O and we're gonna stock the shelves. Yep. So we're looking forward to that.
Is there something that you can point to that is always lacking in terms of your donations? I know for the food pantry, it's usually things that are only one ingredient or one,
It's tough, and it's a hard one. And I'm teasing Christine here, going, "Can I say money?" But
money always fits.
It
right?
really always
It's
does
the right
fit, but we never turn away. There's so many different ways to help. You can volunteer your time. You can make a monetary donation. You can run a food drive in your community, whether it's once a year, once a month. You can fit it in however you want to fit it in, and all of it makes a giant impact. It's hard to call one thing. Because it really all depends on where you are in the season too. So obviously,
Right.
right now we're in turkey season and we're in
Right.
the holidays, and so we want to
giving
get the
season.
giving season of
Yes.
coats and we're doing coats and food and all of those things. It's really hard to call. When we do food drives, we usually try to come up with a specific list to what the shelves may need at that
Right.
time.
Yes.
And I think that people find that to be helpful.
Oh, very helpful. Because
Right.
like I said, we had one. We've had a couple. One in August, and you give a sheet when they go in, and they can of suggested things that you could use, or that,
Right.
that your families can use,
Right.
of what they ask for and whatnot, and that way.
Yep. And what we can take and what they can take and what the food pantry takes, it's all very different
Yeah.
by the needs because we're cooking on site versus the non-perishables.
Right.
And then
Right.
there's lots of things that you have to follow within guidelines of expiration dates and all
Oh,
of
yeah.
those guidelines that you have to follow. but nothing goes to waste. So we do like to collaborate. So if we get boxes of cereal and we can't use those boxes of cereal, they're going to go to one of the other organizations, or we're going to give it out to the community for free so that they can have a little extra. When they come in for lunch, we usually have a free table set up of any overage or items that we can't necessarily need, so participants can take them. So it's hard, Tracy, to call one particular thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
you know,
money is always the best
is
thing.
And, I lean into that because, the operational standpoint for the building and what we need to do to keep things running, packaging alone is over $25,000 a year. So when you talk about to-go packaging, the Olivers for the homebound program, those are specific to those containers. Those get costly. And when you're in a time like this and you have to pivot because the demand is greater and you didn't plan for that in your budget, you try to, then you have to go to a call to action to the community to be able to meet that need. So you plan as best as you can accordingly, but those donations that come in monetarily certainly help us in emergencies like this.
Right. And Christine, I noticed on your website, feedbrantfordkids.org, very simple to remember. You do mention what it costs per year to provide, these weekend supplements, so to speak, for a child.
Yes. Excuse me. That is up on our site, and we have people who just sponsor a child for a year and give us the money
that's
for
wonderful.
that, which is very helpful.
Right.
And it's gradually gone up year after year after year, and I think actually on the website it needs to go up again.
I think I
it needs to be
read that it
updated.
was $583.
It's more than that. It's over 600 now.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's just in a
one
and that's just in a snacking
That's just
meal component.
simple meal preparation.
Yeah.
Like the foods we all ate when we were growing up.
Right.
and stuff that we could prepare
Because
for
if we,
Chef
ourselves.
if we took,
Boyardee.
and if we took the number from Feeding America, which I think is well over I think it's almost like $467 or something now per person per meal.
Yeah.
And we did that math. I'm going to go home and do it because I should know it off the top of my head. But you're right. It just keeps. I can remember. I can remember that years back we were at
$15 a
$3,
day
but we were at
times
like $3.50,
$365.
and then just the hike because it matches the increase economically for the increase in groceries. That it costs that much more to be putting the food on the table.
Certainly food for thought.
It is. Absolutely it is. And then, I don't know, Judy, do you find, because I remember all the years when I volunteered at the dining room, certain times of the year your shelves were emptier than others? Like in August?
Yes.
July?
Yes.
Like,
So in the spring,
People forget,
right?
year-round.
This
It's
is a time
year-round.
of year where you're
People
very
think
in
that.
that frame of mind.
Right.
Exactly.
I need to give. I
Right.
need to either give monetarily.
Right.
I need to, drop off
Right.
things or
Well, and
donate.
I'm appreciative of that statement because the amount of shelf stocking that we need to do, right, in comparison of what you give for a family when they're eating at home versus cooking for 150 meals
Yes.
per day. So when you have a 16-ounce can of peas that you donate, which we love that, but we need 20 of those for one service.
right.
For one service.
Right.
So those shelves have to stay, stocked consistently. So yes, in the springtime, we feel that pinch a little bit and we try to have those drives out there. And, I agree with you on educating the community as well so that there is an understanding of what that looks like. We would love industrial size cans, but you can't buy those necessarily at the grocery
Right.
store. So
Right.
it is an ask to say, we need 20
Yep.
of those for one service. So that's why we're out there all the time.
Right.
All the time. You probably see us almost every weekend at Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
We're out there.
Yep. Yeah. You need to go to Restaurant Depot.
Big industrial size
That
cans.
I went once with my cousin who used to have a cheese shop, and I was like astounded at what the sizes of things and the supplies. And
Yes.
this is where the
We're cooking in
restaurants go.
bulk, so we
Yeah.
need
Right.
we need a lot of those little cans to make
Right.
one
Right.
meal happen.
big
You
bulk
remember
cans.
your cooking days?
lots of cans being opened.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So something else the community dining room is doing is the breakfast club.
Yes,
is
that's
this
brand new.
Another new program.
Brand new. Like I said, no programs are going to close. You're only going to see additions. So we're so thrilled with the Branford Public School System jumping on with us after we started it in East Haven. They came on board, and we thought this is a way to get ahead of it for, the snap that was, coming, the crisis that was coming for families. An additional program. So on Saturdays, every other Saturday, You can go down to Branford High School and you can meet some of the students from the culinary program that will be flipping pancakes for families and have a meal, do a little craft, and spend the morning with CDR.
That's fabulous. Mm-hmm. And the food is good. I've been there for the MLK breakfast.
I'd say we have some pretty good cooks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
The students are good cooks. The
yeah.
community, I mean, the people that come in that cook, no single meal ever tastes the same, though.
No, not at all. Everyone does a little something different.
That's
and, you know,
right.
everybody, at least all the women I know, love to cook and love to cook for a lot of people. So this is perfect for somebody who wants to cook for a big group of people and really,
Yep.
get their chef skills going.
You got it. And we're always looking for volunteers. We have over 400 rotating volunteers that make all of those programs happen. And we do volunteer orientation. The next one will be coming up in January. You can find that again on the website. But we are always welcoming people to come on in, come flip pancakes, come do crafts with the kids, do a pickup for food procurement. There's something for everybody to do to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yes. Yeah, because you couldn't neither one of you could do what you do without the volunteers
That's right.
that help to, take the donations from that into translating it into the food
Yes.
need be. Right.
Yes.
Right, and it's an ongoing issue with any organization that I'm aware of or I'm involved in now is the lack of people coming out to volunteer. That you need the volunteers, and people just aren't like they used to volunteering.
Well, and if we keep creating more programs, we need more people to fill them.
Exactly. So
Right. Yeah,
that's true.
We need people to start coming out and just, come out and try it. If it's not the one you want to do, go try something else somewhere else. But get out and volunteer, and
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
because that's what all these programs run on are volunteers.
Right. And it's usually a small time commitment.
It is.
And it may be once a week. It could be
Like I said,
every other
yeah.
week.
Could be a
It
month.
could be,
Once a month.
Yep.
in other words, whatever someone could do,
You'll
if they
find
can help you.
Whenever you have time. And we have, like I said, a wonderful volunteering community. The kids come out. They've got to get some community service for school. They might need it for church. We welcome that for them to come in. And if they start volunteering young, usually the probability of that for them to continue on and then for their children to volunteer and their children to
that's it.
volunteer becomes generational, right?
Yes, it does.
That's the hope.
Yes, it does. That is the hope.
Yep, that is the hope. We got
Yes.
to keep that going.
Yep. In perpetuity.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So on December 15th, it is your CDR's holiday family party.
Yes.
So all of these donations, Anthony's Angel Tree,
Yes.
and everything else. This
Adopt a
is,
family.
Yep.
Yep. And we will have a huge celebration. So we have hundreds of families that come out. It's going to be hosted at the First Congregational Church in the center of town this year. So they can come out and they can have a meal. Registration is not required for the program, so they can come. And again, it is free. There is no cost to them, but we put on a wonderful meal. We have some music. Santa does make an appearance. He does come. I know it's early, but he does come and make an appearance as well. And it's a good time. It's a great community-filled evening.
Yeah. That's terrific.
Yep. Nothing feels better than to help your neighbors in need.
Right. And you've also started doing a mobile pantry.
Yes. Yes. So the mobile food pantry is in conjunction with Connecticut Food Share. Also in conjunction with our friends at New Antioch Church, because we do utilize their space over on Bourbon Street because we need a big, large parking area for that. And this is a place where people can come and get fresh produce. It's a wonderful program. The next one, I think you have the sheet over there, Tracy. I think the next one coming up is going to be December 12th.
Okay.
The calendar's listed there. And again, they're all listed on the website.
Yes. Let me hold this up. This says November 14th. Yes. December 12th.
December
is the
12th will be the
one.
next one. So
Yeah.
you want to get there early because there is a line. Again, we have seen well over 150 individuals come out for these programs for this particular one. And you just have to bring your own bags, no questions asked, and you will receive some produce in conjunction with the CDR volunteers helping Connecticut Food Share
Right.
and putting that out. Again, that's in addition to, you can use that in addition to any of the other programs offered. Feed Branford Kids, Food Pantry, our evening meal programs. It's in addition to, it's to help supplement. And
Right.
it's wonderful produce that is given.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really great. Yep. And, we're giving people a lot of information here.
There is a lot.
There's a lot of information, but also, you can go on the internet, and these organizations are very easy to find because it's their name.org. So it's feedbrantfordkids.org and communitydiningroom.org. So, that's really your clearinghouse.
It is.
For information
All
and
things are
how to
posted.
contact the groups, how to make a donation.
Correct.
Yes.
How to volunteer, how to make a donation, how to sign up for programs, what programs are available, what's coming, and even just to give us a call if you want a tour. We give tours of the facility if you want to see how operations run. At any point in time, just pick up the phone, give a call to the office. You'll get a staff member, and we'll take the time to chat and let you know what we're doing.
Do you find people don't want to sign up? Is there fear, or is it?
What would you say? It's humbling.
Yes.
It's not an
it
easy
is.
thing.
Right.
It's not an easy thing to do. I've always loved, and I think that there was a lot of intent, and I lean to Christine when I say this, when they thought of the name. Because it's community.
Exactly.
And I think if you just think back at there has to be a chapter. I think there is always a chapter in one's life where there might have been a struggle. It could be food, it could be a bill, it could be rent, right? And it's community that comes together to be able to make that impact and change. So it's really important to us that we maintain that name and the truth of what it is to be able to come in. And it's not the feel of a soup kitchen. There was a lot of intent in the foundation that was put in place for this organization so that people could come in and feel like it is just neighbor to neighbor,
Exactly.
Right.
peer to peer,
Yeah.
and we keep that, and we keep that. You see me in the community in the grocery store, and I will chat, and a participant isn't just a participant; they're a friend, and you just have conversations with community members. They're your neighbors,
Exactly.
Right.
They're people who are just having a difficult time.
Right.
and
Falling on hard times for
And no
whatever
judgment.
reason, and there's
None.
no judgment.
No
There's reason
judgment.
to judge.
None.
Right.
Because it could be any of us.
That's right.
At any given time.
That's
It
right.
really could be.
And we just really want to keep that welcoming environment. And I think that was our intent in the last few years coming out of COVID, because so much changed during COVID, that we really wanted to get back to those community relationships and being a lot more outward facing. And so you'll see a lot of our events more out of the dining room and being at these other sites
Right,
and being
yeah.
around town
In
more.
the community.
In the community, hence the community. It's a community dining room, but we need to be out there. So I feel like that makes people a little less fearful. There's always a little bit of a hesitation when you cross that, that road that you have to utilize that kind of service or that you may need it. But I think that it's heartwarming for people to know that it's there, and I think that once they're able to get to that step. And they see how welcoming the environment is, that it's much more comfortable for them to utilize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And part of what your organization relies on, Christine, is you must have to rent the space, or has someone donated the space where you're out of?
The space is donated to us. We don't have to pay rent.
That's fabulous. So that cuts down.
That helps
and of
a lot.
course, the community dining room is out of the Volunteer Service Center, which was recently renamed for, wasn't it? Pat Andreoli?
I think it's always been. That
It
was the
has
name.
been.
That was the name it
Volunteer
originally.
Service Center.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I never realized that. I knew it was the Volunteer Service Center, but when I was there recently, I'm like, oh, did they just, because we recently lost her.
When we did, and when
Yeah.
you come into the building in the dining room itself, so there's 4 entities in that space, and
Right.
when you walk into the main area, it's the dining room area, and you'll see the prior leadership from Patricia Kroll, who was the executive director prior to me. Upon her retirement, they named part of the dining room the Patricia Kroll Dining Room. But the building itself is the Pat Andreoli Volunteer Service Center. And the Homebound program is named after your mother.
Right.
So, there's a lot of legacies there that make that building what it is.
Right. Mm-hmm. And the Homebound program, we didn't touch on that, but that is for people who cannot make it to the dining room, and
Yes.
it's brought
Because,
to them.
again, no one should be hungry. So in North Branford and Branford, we have a service on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays where we have volunteers that will bring them a hot and cold meal, as well as a dessert and some fruit and a friendly smile and visit to drop off a meal to them. And we are starting to open that door to East Haven as well.
Wow. Yeah. And I think some people might be surprised. Guilford is also a community that you help to provide assistance to.
Yes. So in the Guilford community, and we get wonderful support from the town of Guilford for the programs that we do, and in collaboration with Women and Family, Parks and Recreation. We do a lot of programming with them as well. And I like a good statistic, as I was saying earlier. Sorry. So when we were researching, how these families would be affected by SNAP, there was well over 150 families. That's not the total amount of people on SNAP that reside in Guilford, but that number that were going to be affected. And whether it's one family or 150 families, it's just something that they shouldn't even have to bear. And so we were really happy to be able to support them as well. I mean, we say we have certain areas where we see more than, but to be honest, it really doesn't make a difference where you're coming from, right? We're gonna be there to help.
The mission is still there.
Right.
So what is the statistic for Branford of families on SNAP?
Oh, she got me on that one. So I can tell you the number that was going to be affected,
Okay.
and
Sure.
I will email you, and I encourage you to research Data Haven's equity reports that they put out.
Okay.
And they just did one on SNAP that has one for each town. So Branford, by the effect of 350 families that would have been affected by the shutdown during that time for SNAP. That's not to say the number of how many. It's larger
Right.
than, again, I had mentioned 33% of the population in Branford being Alice. And how many in Branford? Are we 29,000?
About that. Yeah.
About 29,000, so 33% there living in the Alice population. That's a little scary for
A
those
third
individuals.
of our town.
That's scary for sure. And you were giving that statistic earlier. Was it 35%?
Yeah,
Of-
the school district.
Of the
That's
school
what-
district.
yes,
So, I mean, I
that's
think
what
you can
they've
kind of
told
do the
me.
math in
Yeah.
your head there to come up with some numbers. But
Right.
350 just to be affected by that one switch up, that's not calculating the amount of people that are on that and that are going to be affected for the long term. So we're talking about a long-term emergency that's happening now with what's going on.
Yes.
It's wonderful that, the state of Connecticut is funding SNAP and that we
Right.
have the opportunity to be able to do that for individuals. But the long-term effect of what's going to change in the structure of SNAP is going to affect these families greatly. And it's fast and it's furious and it's hard to prepare for them. Kids entering college, how are they going to prepare these shifts when, it's a paycheck to paycheck for some in that
Right.
environment? Health insurance costs through the roof,
Oh, yeah.
premiums.
That's coming, right?
That's right around the corner.
Because we don't know what's going to happen with the supplements.
Right around the
for
corner, and what
families.
seniors may be facing for housing.
Right.
And, that's why now more than ever, these programs and what we're doing, we need to sustain, we need to be there, we need to collaborate, and we need to educate the community that they're here, use these programs to be able to help.
Right. Well, you've done a wonderful job of educating a lot of us by your being here. So we very much appreciate that. Judy Bishop is the executive, not
you.
Judy Barron.
No, it's
Judy
Bishop
Barron, now Bishop.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Executive Director of the Community Dining Room, Christine Klarman, with Feed Branford Kids. So all of this information, again, I want to share with you. I will be posting this on my new Branford Voices Facebook page, along with a link to this podcast, so you can find me there. You can connect with us there. So until next time, thanks so much for watching and listening.